This video is brought to you by Mervyn Nuts. Thank you for being a farm baron. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ravenport Revisited. We've had a little change up in some machinery on the farm. Nah, just kidding. We're doing a contract, like we always do contracts. Got a JCB and actually a double set of trailers today, because we're doing a corn contract over on field 13. But I wanted to bring you back and update you on what's going on here at the farm. Canola field beside us is ready to harvest. Last time I looked, there isn't a contract ready for it. Our soybeans are kind of ready to harvest. So this is a side effect of playing with seasons all the time. That, man, it is really, really nice. That is, that you don't have things like this. I've got a section of the field that's still growing and a section of the field that is ready to harvest. The growth stage on this field has basically gotten split between two different growth stages. And as a result, well, we've got this. So here's the problem. Do we wait until this is ready to harvest? Then this is one step closer to being ready to wither. Do we harvest this and then wait and come back and harvest this one? That's the safest thing to do. And that's probably what I'm going to do, because, well, you just never know if it's going to rain. And then next thing you know, you lose this field. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to harvest part of this field, and then we're going to wait for the other part to finish up. At the same point, we are still working on this corn contract. We're up to $102,000, so we're not doing too terrible bad. That is all in the clear because we own the harvester. We own the header. We can cycle all day long the soybean field without any issue. And then when we need to put oats in, we can do that. So I think that's what we'll do. First thing we need to do is empty this so our hired helper can continue. So our hired helper can continue to do its job. That is make its way back and forth across the cornfield. Getting this combination of trailers reminded me, I haven't done contracts for a while, but I haven't had a combo set like this for quite a while, but this is really handy, especially when you set them to dump to the side. You can quickly undump both of them and haul a fair bit of grain for a pretty economical price compared to buying a much larger trailer. I have to say, I really wasn't planning on recording this particular video until we had this split growth problem. Was going to maybe we actually go through an entire additional harvest cycle before putting any videos out, kind of letting some money accumulate up, because like I said, at this point it's just grinding contracts still and trying to work the horses up. The horses are now worth $22,000, so they're worth a nice little bit of change. Game day tomorrow, that will be probably about 5 days since we've bought the horses, and they will basically be worth half of their final amount. You see right here, they're worth $22,700 now. So tomorrow, hopefully they'll be worth $25,000, a little over $25,000. And we'll be able to, well, if we wanted to, cash them out for $100,000. We'd be able to buy that field right there beside us and then start the whole process over again, owning two fields. It's an option. Kind of short the horses just to get the infusion of cash to get another field in order to kind of speed up the entire process a little bit. It is something maybe to think about. The other thing would be to go another 5 more days, and then you get, an injection of $200,000. Really, it's $180,000 because you're going to have to buy 4 horses again at $5,000 a piece. But that would be an option, as opposed to just working through the soybeans 4 or 5 more iterations and everything. I'll have to think about that. The other thing would be maybe picking up a different field. 158, 174, 125. Now that one's a pretty good $125, 125,000. And then expand that field a little bit more. That might be an option, right? As far as other land, we got 107,000, 128 right beside us. It's on a hillside. But yeah, we could expand that field too, right on the other side of our farm there. Bring the field a little bit closer down to the road. Expand the field a little bit further over to the road going up to the castle. That would probably double the size of that actual field and everything. So that is an option too. We'd have enough money to buy that plot of land here pretty darn soon. All right, we're gonna have to run over there and empty that corn harvester. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think good and hard on what our strategy is. Could sell those 4 horses, get $80,000, have close to 190 grand, maybe close to 200,000 once we sell these soybeans and get our money from the harvest contract, assuming we don't do any other contracts. We would be able to buy this big field over here beside us at that point because it's 174. We could buy this one here, 128. We could buy that one. Or we could buy that one. And really just try to figure out which land might be a little bit easier to farm as far as kind of land for the money. All right, so I'm over here just checking out field 28 and the area here around field 28. I have to say, it's a bit steep. I don't know if I really want to be working this. I mean, if we go across the field, it won't be that big of a deal, but it is a little steep in some areas. I think we could probably do a little better with our money than picking this up and having to deal with this type of land. Ironically, over here on field 26, we have soybeans in the ground. There's not a lot that we're going to be able to expand up kind of above the field. Probably come out a little bit, but I don't know how far over here the property line is. Be nice if there was in maybe FS22 like property line stakes kind of at the corners. So you kind of line up your property. Then maybe once you owned 2 adjoining pieces of property, the property stakes would go away. That'd be an interesting concept. Or maybe, heck, that would be a really cool mod. Now we could come down here a little bit. But again, so we can come down here basically to the road. We're going to gain a little bit of land, but not a whole lot of land over and above what this field already is. Now, the field's not that much of a slouch, but I mean, it's probably roughly the same size as our field is, just a little bit different shape. Or coming over here to field 19 again, kind of our first love, if you will. We could expand this out a little bit more toward the street. Kind of have it at the field edge at a bit of an angle, gain a little bit of land there. Some of you would probably suggest plowing this grass up and just merging these two fields. Never been one to merge fields, so I'd probably leave these separate. And then when we get over to here, we could extend the field back a little bit more toward this tree line. We could probably extend it back maybe about here. Land starts to get a little weird, but we could get a nice little bit of extra land if we did that. But this is obviously going to be the most expensive option of the three. So I'm curious, of those three options, which would you pick? Go ahead and leave a comment down below the video as to which one of those would you pick. Would you go for field 28 and expand that, field 26, expand that, or field 19 and expand that if you were going to basically short on the horses and sell them at half value? Basically get you $180,000. We're going to have close to $120,000, $125,000 probably by the time we finish this contract, sell the excess corn, and get the rest of those soybeans off the field. So that would put us around $215,000. So we'd have to buy the land, and then we would have to also get the soil sampler to sample the soil, and then do whatever we need to do to get the soil up to snuff to obviously put soybeans in it so we don't have to put fertilizer down. So this is the last bit of corn for that particular contract. Let's go and see what we get after we satisfy the contractual requirements and how much we clear from the $6,000 and some odd dollars that we're supposed to get from the harvest itself. And of course, some amount of that will be deducted as a result of our borrowing the equipment. Alright. Oh, there we go. The 13 finished. Oh, we got a lot of corn left. A lot of corn left. Oh, $8,798 on top of $4,800 that we're going to get off the contract. So $115,000 in the bank. That was definitely well worth it. Sometimes you get a little nervous when you see the hired helper money ticking down. I think that contract probably took maybe a couple $1,000s of hired helper work. But, you know, if you're going to do more than one thing at a time, then you're going to need more than one set of hands. So we've got, yeah. That's just what really annoys me when in base game you get fields under different growth cycles, and it all happens because, of course, if you're running at a speed greater than 1x, then a fair bit of time passes, unless you're using really big equipment to work on small fields. Then you can run into the situation where we were seeding this field, and for whatever reason, we didn't get the whole field seeded before the game decided it was going to basically calculate out a growth stage. And we had about, what, 4/5 of the field was in one stage, and the balance was in another stage. So we've got this one harvested. We just have to wait for that one to mature up, which will probably happen overnight. And then we'll be able to get it cleaned up in the morning. And, yeah, then we'll just figure out what on earth we are doing to hopefully expand our operations sooner than later. So this is going to be kind of maybe a short video here today. I want to thank you for coming out and watching. Hope you all are enjoying the series overall. I'm enjoying putting it together, although it is a fair bit of off-camera time. Just for anyone that is curious, I think we're sitting at probably close to 33 game hours on the series at this point, as far as on the game save. So if you figure out the duration of all the videos that we've done so far, it is not anywhere as close to the amount of hours we've actually put into this particular save. Not that 30 some hours is a whole lot, but still, compared to the amount of hours of video that you all are getting to watch, there is a fair bit of off-camera time being put in. So until next time, happy farming.